Hello, everybody. It's a hot day in July, late July here in Michigan, and I'm back on this channel after, I'm not sure, maybe a month or more off of it. I'm going to do a quick video today. I don't know if it's going to be quick, actually. I'm going to do a video today, the traditional putting on some music, playing the drums. This is the only way that I've learned the drums, aside from like a 3-day hiatus or burst of inspiration or intention, where I tried to get some sheet music out and learn from that. That didn't go all too badly, but I started off with the lazy approach, and it's kind of hard to get out of the lazy approach once you start off that way. So I am recently feeling a lot of desire to work out some songs. I have that, the desire is there, the intention is there. Getting to actually do that's a different story. It takes time, you know. And so does just randomly playing the drums for 30 minutes every day. It takes time, but it doesn't take as much mental energy up front. And that is a real thing. I've, talked a lot about this on this channel, how I do a lot of things already that take a lot of mental energy. And so this is kind of my thing where it's very experimental and I'm willing to just have whatever results. I don't want another thing that takes mental energy. But at the same time, if you want certain results, if you want specific results, then you have to practice for those results. So I'm really thinking about trying to pull together a few songs, one song to start with that I really want to learn and actually cover on all instruments. My MO is to pick something that's too hard. So if you have a suggestion of a song where nothing's that hard, the guitar part's not that hard, the bass part's not that hard, the drums aren't that hard, the vocals aren't that hard. I do play saxophone, so if it has a horn part, that could be covered on saxophone or some other auxiliary thing that could be covered on saxophone, cool. Keyboard, if it's got that, it's got to be really, really not hard. But yeah, if you know of some song or song ideas where I could, cover it and do the whole thing, every single instrument, but none of them are all that tricky, especially the drums, because that's still my instrument. I mean, I've played the drums a lot more than I've played the bass at this point, but I still feel like I could probably cover a slightly more complex bass part than drum part, just because it translates pretty well from guitar. Same with other melodic instruments, but drums still very understood to me. I mean, I feel like I have moments where I don't sound too bad playing, but as far as coordinating to actually play and replicate what someone else has done exactly and practice that, I'm at very much a beginner level. Today though, let's go ahead and just put on some music because that's what I'm gonna do today. So let's get started with that. And of course this cord is all tangled up over here. I don't know how they get tangled from doing nothing at all. And now I accidentally unplugged it and my iPad's on 2%, so. All right, sorry, that wasn't the content that I was aiming for here. I just want to get this iPad over here where I can reach it and decide what I actually want to play. We have Get Up Mix. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm gonna ask it to play Lainey Wilson because I've heard a couple Lainey Wilson's tunes lately that I really like. Wildflowers, Wild Horses. I might just put that on. That's gonna throw off the algorithm here because I don't listen to a lot of country. But sometimes you need to throw off the algorithm because the algorithm gets you stuck. Just repeating stuff you already are familiar with. It doesn't inspire that creativity. So let's play Wildflowers, Wild Horses by Lainey Wilson and we'll see what it goes from there. Play Wildflowers and Wild Horses by Lainey Wilson. I couldn't find Wildflowers and Wild Horses by Lainey Wilson in your Apple Music library. Well, I was thinking maybe you would just go ahead and pull it up from the internet. So let's try this again, but I'll type it out. Yep, this one. Question. Does this song even have drums? I don't hear drums in this song. I hear a lot of rhythmic stuff on the guitar, but I don't hear drums at all, which is super cool. I love that, but I'm not hearing them. I think, some songs just have a really unique sound, and to me, that's one of those songs. And sometimes when you really listen and evaluate those songs, listen to them and evaluate them, you realize that there's something specific that you can put your finger on and maybe not having drums and using really percussive, fast guitar and stringed instrument parts and the boom, 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 like really, really like four on the floor bass part, which I think was actually a bass and not a bass drum. Maybe that contributed to the song, but I'm not an expert. That's just me picking up what I think I hear, and I could be wrong about any of that. Let's just keep playing and see what happens next.
They say love is more precious than gold. It can't be bought and it can't be sold. I got love, nothing that make me never let go. I got a woman without a she's my treasure, so very she made me a millionaire. When we're riding around this old town in the big red car with the window down, people looking say that love is sure living in love. Sweet love, sweet can't be bought, never be sold. Another shade that made me
I will say I don't listen to a lot of country. I don't like a lot of country, but um, that second song is it was a nice song. First song, really good song with an awesome, unique sound. This one I've heard it a time or two, and it also has that special something that makes it a little more than just your standard run-of-the-mill country song. And there's run-of-the-mill in every genre, right? There's run-of-the-mill pop, there's run-of-the-mill rock, there's like cookie cutter stuff that's just kind of all the same. And then you have outliers in all those genres, including country, that stand out. And I think this is one for me. But I'm still only gonna listen to like one or two more country songs before I try to get to change directions. So what sets that song apart? Welcome to the channel. If you've never been here before, I like to play a little bit, talk a little bit, and share my thoughts on some songs. Some people like that, some people don't watch my videos, and that's okay. To me, that song, like the line, "The devil's in the details," is actually a really good indication of what's great about the song. I guess the angel's in the details too. I can't think of a good way to, there's got to be a good play on words there, but it is in the details. That song, it feels like someone sat down, they had a concept, they had an idea, they had a theme, and they sat down and they really crafted this song around that theme. They built it up, they led into it. There was like an introductory statement to lead up to the primary statement. I know this is true of a lot of songs. There's a lot of songs that kind of set you up for the chorus, and then the chorus brings it all together. But this one, I think, really had a lot more subtlety in that setup, and a lot more that they just wove together and crafted a very specific message and did it really well. And it felt like the whole song, from the lyrics to the music, just everything was really thought out, really intentional. Like someone actually built this song. It maybe didn't just, it wasn't the type of song that just kind of comes to you, even though the initial concept might just come to you. And I don't know if this is true at all. That's the feeling I get when I listen to it. And I think it'd be super interesting to hear the songwriter or songwriters. I'm not sure. You know, it might actually say here if I click on it, written by Ashley Gorley, Carly Pierce, Emily Shackleton, written by 3 women. And I had a feeling it was going to be multiple songwriters. This felt like a collaborative effort because of how much it felt crafted. It felt like they set out, like, here's a concept, let's brainstorm and figure out how to pull this idea together into a song. It's by Carly Pierce. So Carly Pierce is the artist, and she was also one of the songwriters. But yeah, so this song's really cool, interesting, and I'm gonna see if we get one more country tune and then switch it up, even if not. So give heaven some hell. I'll try it. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think we're doing this one. I was just kidding there. It kind of sounded like a fun song if it was just like soft and gentle, and all of a sudden there was a headbanging lead in, but I knew that wasn't going to actually happen. Let's see. Let's just play a little bit from whatever Siri or Apple suggests for me. Now let's do, we want to do Dua Lipa and Similar Artist Station, or just Discovery Station. Let's do Discovery. And if I don't like it, we're going to Dua Lipa.
Sing my song. me to. Sooner than you want to.
And that sounds pretty cool, but for our last song, let's just go ahead and do a Dua Lipa and similar artists. I've never heard of this one before. It's called These Walls.
Maybe it's a grace, 'cause baby you know I'm confused. And when it ends up in tears, wake up and we blame it on me and wasted. This
I don't know if you realize this, but when you actually look at how many people wrote a lot of songs, it's often a lot of people. Written by Andrew Wyatt, Billy Walsh, Carolyn Aylan, Danny Harley, Dua Lipa, and Pierre Demer. So that's Dumer, I guess, French probably. That's a lot of people to write one fairly simple song. I mean, there was nothing that complex about that song or the message in that song. Really, really basic, actually. I'm not criticizing it. It was a great song. I really liked it. Just an observation. A lot of people came together to pull off a really pretty simple concept. That was fun. That was a fun one to end on. I'm glad I switched over to an artist I know I like, and also glad that it ended up being a new song that I'd never heard before. Because that's fun to hear. I actually got to the point where I really, really liked Dua Lipa, but stuff was starting to sound kind of the same. And then I didn't like some of her new releases for a little while, so wasn't listening to her much. But that one was, like I said, very basic, but very cool. And fun to play with. And I felt like, and again, sometimes I listen back and I'm like, this was trash, this was terrible. But I felt like I was coming up with some concepts in my mind about things that I wanted to kind of play over that song and executing them somewhat well on the drum kit. So that's cool for me to feel that. Whether or not it's actually true, I'm absolutely positive, and I say this a lot on this channel, but just to kind of reiterate that time spent doing something you like is not wasted time, even if you're not doing it, going about it the same way that, you know, other people do, or that other people have encouraged you to do. It's not wasted time, because there's, as much as that may not have been as good of drumming as I might have been able to achieve in this same time frame with a different approach, it was still a heck of a lot better than what I would have been able to pull off just 1 month into this process. That's pretty much inarguable. And it's not to say that I couldn't have pulled off something that would have sounded decent, maybe even would have sounded better. And I think it's important not to confuse what sounds better with what actually represents improvement. Because I'm trying to think of a good example here, but when you do something at a higher level, you're more likely to mess up, and when you mess up, that translates to sounding bad. Well, you know, whether you sound good or bad, you know, or, you know, let's say you're doing like skiing, let's just do something completely random, but let's say you're skiing, you know, you try to pull off a trick, you mess up, you crash, and that's bad. You know, that's, in really simple terms, that's bad. But if you tried to pull off something that was like 5 levels above what everyone else is pulling off around you, and I'm not saying I'm there on drums at all, this is just an example. But if you do that, you tried to pull off a really complex trick with spins and twists and turns and flips, and you kind of messed it up and you crashed, and someone next to you pulled off a pretty relatively simple trick, but they pulled it off as really smooth and they nailed it, that other person's gonna look like they're a better skier. But you're actually levels above that. And I'm not levels above a lot of other people who've been playing drums or practicing drums, but I'm levels above where I was 100, 200 days ago in the process. And so even if I'm trying something more complex and it's not really working and I'm not really achieving it, and like I said, I need to listen back to this and actually see if I did accomplish or didn't accomplish what I thought I did. But even if I was just going for something and I didn't quite get there, and I might have sounded better on day 30 because I would have just sat there and like played something really steady and pretty simple, I still know that that represents progress for me. I don't care if that made sense. I think it did make sense. I think you get what I'm saying, and I think, you know, you can pick it apart more. We could like have a longer discussion about that, but that's the point that I wanted to make, even though I made it a bunch of times already on this channel. Maybe I'm a little bit defensive of my mechanism for practice on the drums, but anyways, thank you for watching. If you're watching this at 42 minutes and 55 seconds into the video, thank you for watching through the video, any portions of it that you did watch. I started this channel, you know, as a way to just get footage on YouTube while doing something I was gonna do anyways. So I'm just gonna come out and say that today in this video, and that's all I'm doing here. I've thought, you know, a few times about scrapping the channel. I've thought about, and am actually refocusing on intending to refocus on a different channel that's more about me personally and some projects that are important to me on a personal level, although this one is too. But anyways, I think I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and post videos as often as I do and not post them as often as I don't, and just, not overthink it, just continue in the process that I'm in and not worry about it. So again, thank you for watching. Appreciate the views, the likes, and the subscriptions that some of you have given me. I really do appreciate that. And I will catch you next time.